We continue our protest coverage with a little bit of a history lesson.
Our Jalen Banks caught up with one expert with why and how these protests have taken college campuses across the country by storm. Jalen?
Eric and Susan, the conflict between Israel and Palestine spans decades. The war between Israel and Hamas now, as we all know, has sparked a movement of college campus protests and encampments. But in order to understand why these are taking place now, we first have to understand the past. Some of the early sparks of the conflict between Israel and Palestine stem from a movement in the early 1900s.
Was a movement to create a homeland for the Jewish people. So that particular movement is what's referred to as Zionism. But Judaism in and of itself is a religion. So there are many Jews that are not Zionists. There are other Jews who are Zionists who would say that they are intricately and inexorably linked.
Fast forward to the 2023 October 6th attacks by Hamas. It has now ignited the most recent events between Israel and Palestine, sending the region in a now 7-month-long war. Palestinian casualties throughout the war has prompted many college campuses across the country to protest, asking for a ceasefire and for universities to divest from Israeli-backed companies, a tactic that has been used in other protests.
And it goes back to the BDS movement, the boycott, divest, and sanction movement that started in the early 2000s. Desire was to model a protest movement on the anti-apartheid movement of South Africa, and that was to boycott Israel, to divest investments, and then to in place sanctions.
David Corey, a professor within the Universities of Wisconsin, believes universities could have used different tactics when trying to break up protests and encampments, and alternative tactics could have been used.
I think that calling the police was the wrong action to take and was a mistake. Creating a teach-in to allow students to talk about this, their concerns and view and as well as counter perspectives as well from other groups who oppose this.
As for whether students' demands will be met, Corey is not sure, but believes they have accomplished the goal of bringing more attention to the war.
It's on the news every day. So, one of the things about protests is disruption and calling attention to a particular issue. If the goal was to call attention to this, it certainly succeeded in that.
We'll continue to keep you updated on the protests both on air and on our website at channel3000.com.